hopefully you've had a bit of time to think together about how you think about Jesus and how your experiences in life and what you've been taught have actually shaped some of that. And that is what happens in life as we get to know somebody, we learn about them, and we begin to think about them in a different way. During the first week of the discipleship course, we were thinking about the way that Jesus called his disciples to him. And as they go on in that journey, we see the way that they begin to learn more about the people they're to be and who Jesus is. So they're learning really two things. First of all, learning about how to live as God intends, and there's lots of times they share together with Jesus a famous Sermon on the Mount where Jesus teaches them about the way that they're to live and the things that they're to do. But alongside that, they are also understanding more of who Jesus is. Not just about what Jesus is teaching and the way that they're to live, but who Jesus himself is. And so they find themselves there at a wedding in Cana in Galilee as Jesus turns water into wine. They find themselves out on a lake in a storm. Jesus asleep in the boat, and then they wake him up and he calms the storm. I'm not quite sure about the picture of him standing with arms outstretched, but you get the theme. There are things happening that are making them think about who Jesus is. A great crowd gathers one day, and Jesus recognises their hunger, and he feeds 5,000 with 5 loaves and 2 fish. Who is this man? Not only these big incidents, but in small things as well, as they see Jesus dealing with people, as they were there in the room as a man is lowered down through the roof, as Jesus sees his need and doesn't just tell him to walk again, but tells him that his sins are forgiven. Something that only God could do. What was happening in all of these encounters? What were they learning about Jesus and who Jesus is? These questions are important for us as we follow their journey and as we walk our journey with Jesus. Famously, there comes a moment when Jesus poses them 2 questions. The first of those, relatively simple for them to answer. Who do people say that I am? Well, some say that you're Elijah, the prophet who never died and was taken up to heaven, and he's come back and you're him. Others are saying that it's actually John the Baptist come back from the dead. Lots of things that people are saying about who Jesus was as they watched as well what Jesus was doing and saying. And then he asked them the crucial question: who do you say I am? Only Peter is bold enough to actually speak at that point. Perhaps the others were wondering about what to say. But Peter says this: you are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. There's an interesting moment there where Jesus says to him, well done, Simon. But not well done for having worked this out. Well done because only God could have revealed that to you. Jesus is pleased with Peter because somehow he's learnt to listen to what God is saying, and God has revealed to him who Jesus is. Somehow we can't work all of this out on our own. It's about listening to the voice of God, putting together all that we see and understand, but also listening to what God is saying to us. And as Peter has done that, he recognises that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of the living God. And it's that would mark Christianity out as different from other religions, their understanding of who Jesus is. So if you were to speak to someone who was a Muslim or a Jew or in other faiths, they would recognise that Jesus was someone sent by God, but they would recognise him as a prophet, someone who came with a message, not as the Messiah, not as the Son of God. As Christians, we see Jesus as the Son of God, the Messiah, the Saviour of the world. And we see Peter on that journey making that discovery. So, question for you just now to discover, and a number of questions on the sheet. Where do you feel that you are on the voyage of discovery about Jesus? Turn the video off and take some time to discuss the questions.